Every homeowner eventually learns the same lesson, usually the hard way. A house does not fail all at once. It fails one neglected task at a time. The furnace filter, nobody changed. The gutter, nobody cleared. The caulk line that dried out and cracked 2 winters ago. None of these things seem urgent in the moment, which is exactly why they turn into expensive emergencies later. The good news is that almost every major home repair disaster can be prevented with a simple, repeatable home maintenance calendar that walks you through what to check, clean, and fix every single month of the year. Think of your house the same way you think of your car or your body. It needs regular attention, not just emergency intervention. When you follow a seasonal rhythm instead of waiting for something to break, you save thousands of dollars, protect your family's safety, and keep your home running efficiently no matter what the weather throws at it. Let's start where most homeowners feel the pain most acutely, and that's winter. If you live anywhere that sees freezing temperatures, preventing frozen pipes needs to be at the top of your seasonal checklist. Frozen pipes don't just cause an inconvenience, they can burst and flood an entire basement or crawl space within minutes, leading to repair bills that stretch into the tens of thousands of dollars. Before the first hard freeze hits, disconnect and drain outdoor hoses, shut off exterior water valves if you have them, and insulate any exposed pipes in unheated spaces like garages, attics, and crawl spaces with simple foam pipe sleeves from any hardware store. On the coldest nights, let faucets connected to exterior walls drip slightly, since moving water is far less likely to freeze than still water. Keep your thermostat set no lower than 65 degrees even when you're away, because the small increase in your heating bill is nothing compared to the cost of a burst pipe. Open cabinet doors under sinks that sit against exterior walls so warm air can circulate around the plumbing. These few small winter habits are some of the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy for your home. While you're thinking about winter, it's worth addressing a mystery that frustrates so many homeowners. Why does your house feel cold even with the heat on? Most of the time, the culprit isn't your furnace at all, it's air leakage. Small gaps around windows, doors, electrical outlets, and where pipes enter your walls let conditioned air escape and cold air seep in, forcing your heating system to work overtime without ever making the room feel comfortable. Walk around your home on a windy day and hold your hand near outlets, window frames, and door thresholds. If you feel a draft, a bead of fresh weather stripping or a tube of caulk can solve the problem for just a few dollars. Ceiling fans set to spin clockwise in winter push warm air that naturally rises back down into the living space. And don't overlook your attic insulation, since heat loss through an under-insulated attic is one of the single biggest reasons homes feel chilly, no matter how high you crank the thermostat. Speaking of heating systems, let's talk about furnace filters, because this is one maintenance task that quietly affects both your comfort and your health. A dirty, clogged furnace filter doesn't just make your system less efficient, it actively degrades your indoor air quality by allowing dust, pet dander, and allergens to recirculate through your home instead of being trapped. It also forces your furnace to strain harder to pull air through, which shortens the lifespan of the equipment and increases your energy bill. The rule of thumb is to check your filter monthly and replace it at least every 1 to 3 months. More often if you have pets or allergy sufferers in the house. Mark it on your calendar so it becomes automatic rather than something you only remember when the house starts smelling stale or your energy bill unexpectedly climbs. Once winter starts to loosen its grip, spring maintenance becomes the next major checkpoint on your home maintenance calendar. This is the season to inspect your roof, since winter's freeze and thaw cycles are notorious for loosening shingles, cracking flashing, and creating small vulnerabilities that lead to leaks. Look for shingles that are curling, cracked, or missing granules, and pay close attention around chimneys and vent pipes where flashing can pull away. Hidden signs your roof needs repair often show up inside the house before you ever notice anything on the exterior, so check your attic for water stains, daylight coming through the boards, or a musty smell that suggests trapped moisture. Catching these small issues in spring, before summer storms and heavy rain arrive, can be the difference between a simple patch job and a full roof replacement. Spring is also the ideal time to walk the perimeter of your house and check your foundation and basement for any signs of moisture intrusion. Basement moisture problems are incredibly common, and they range from harmless dampness to serious structural concerns, so it pays to know what you're looking at. Look for white chalky deposits on basement walls, called efflorescence, which indicate water is seeping through and leaving mineral residue behind. Musty odors, peeling paint, or a damp feeling in the air are all signs that moisture is present even if you can't see standing water. The fix often starts outside rather than inside. Make sure your gutters are clear and your downspouts direct water at least 6 feet away from your foundation, and check that the ground around your house slopes away from the structure rather than toward it. A dehumidifier can help manage the symptoms, but redirecting water away from your foundation solves the actual cause. As the growing season heats up, this is also your window for essential spring home maintenance tasks that keep small problems from becoming big ones. Clean your gutters of the leaves and debris that built up over fall and winter. since clogged gutters are one of the leading causes of both roof damage and basement flooding. Inspect your exterior caulking and weather stripping around windows and doors, since these seals naturally shrink and crack over time and let both moisture and conditioned air escape. Test your sump pump by pouring a bucket of water into the pit to confirm it kicks on and drains properly, because you don't want to discover a failed pump during the first heavy spring storm. Service your air conditioning system before the heat of summer arrives, including cleaning the outdoor condenser unit of leaves, grass clippings, and debris so it can breathe properly and run efficiently all season long. As summer settles in, your maintenance focus naturally shifts toward efficiency and comfort, which brings us to one of the most practical questions every homeowner asks: how do you reduce your electricity bill without sacrificing comfort? The answer usually comes down to small, consistent habits rather than dramatic sacrifices. Set your thermostat a few degrees higher when you're away from home using a programmable or smart thermostat, since even a modest adjustment can meaningfully lower your cooling costs over a full season. Keep blinds and curtains closed during the hottest parts of the day to block solar heat gain, especially on windows that face south and west. Run major appliances like dishwashers and laundry machines in the evening when electricity demand and sometimes rates are lower. Check that your air conditioning ducts are properly sealed and insulated, since leaky ductwork can waste a significant portion of your cooled air before it ever reaches your living space. This is also a good time to think seriously about smart home upgrades that actually save money, as opposed to gadgets that simply sound impressive. A smart thermostat is consistently one of the best investments a homeowner can make, since it learns your schedule and adjusts heating and cooling automatically, often paying for itself within a year or two through energy savings. Smart power strips can eliminate the phantom energy draw from electronics left plugged in on standby. LED smart bulbs use a fraction of the energy of traditional lighting and last significantly longer, reducing both your electricity bill and how often you're climbing a ladder to change a bulb. Leak detection sensors placed near water heaters, washing machines, and undersinks can alert you to a slow leak long before it turns into thousands of dollars in water damage, making them one of the most cost-effective smart devices you can install. While we're on the subject of hidden energy costs, it's worth addressing why your water heater might be quietly raising your energy bill without you realizing it. Sediment builds up naturally at the bottom of a water heater tank over time, insulating the water from the heating element and forcing the unit to burn more energy to reach the same temperature. Draining and flushing your water heater once a year removes this sediment buildup and restores efficiency. Check that your thermostat setting isn't higher than necessary, since 120 degrees is typically sufficient for most households and safer for young children, while also reducing energy consumption. If your water heater is more than 8 to 10 years old, it's worth comparing the cost of continued repairs against the long-term savings of upgrading to a more efficient model, since older units lose efficiency significantly as they age. As the seasons continue turning, certain plumbing issues will inevitably crop up, and knowing how to fix them yourself saves both time and money. A running toilet is almost always caused by a worn flapper valve, an inexpensive part you can replace in about 10 minutes without calling a plumber. A slow draining sink is frequently just a buildup of hair and soap scum that a drain snake or a simple baking soda and vinegar treatment can clear without harsh chemicals. Low water pressure in a single faucet is often nothing more than a clogged aerator, which unscrews easily and can be cleaned with vinegar to remove mineral deposits. Learning these small, common plumbing fixes not only saves money, but builds the confidence to recognize which problems are simple and which genuinely require a professional. No home maintenance calendar would be complete without covering the basics of home safety, since these checks protect not just your wallet, but your family's well-being. Test smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors monthly, and replace their batteries at least once a year, ideally timed with a seasonal change, so it's easy to remember. Check that fire extinguishers are accessible and haven't expired. Inspect electrical outlets and cords throughout the house for fraying, discoloration, or burning smell, all of which indicate an electrical issue that needs immediate professional attention. Walk your exterior steps, railings, and walkways each season to check for loose boards, cracked concrete, or ice buildup that could cause a fall. As autumn arrives, the calendar brings you back around to preparation mode again, closing the loop for another year. Rake and clear leaves regularly so they don't smother your lawn or clog your gutters. Have your chimney inspected and cleaned if you use a fireplace, since creosote buildup is a leading cause of house fires. Seal any gaps you find around windows and doors before the cold weather returns, and schedule a furnace inspection so your heating system is ready to perform reliably through another winter. This is also the perfect moment to review everything you've maintained throughout the year, tightening up any tasks that slipped and setting reminders for the months ahead. When you look at home maintenance this way, as a continuous, repeating calendar, rather than a list of chores you tackle only when something breaks, everything becomes simpler and more affordable. Small, consistent effort spread across 12 months protects your roof, your pipes, your foundation, your energy bills, and most importantly, your family's safety. The homeowners who avoid the most expensive disasters aren't the ones with the biggest budgets. They're the ones who show up for these small tasks month after month, season after season, year after year.